The topic for today is adverbs, comparatives, and superlatives, okay? So we've seen adverbs before, all right? I'll just kind of write a couple examples for you, but the pattern is very easily recognizable, okay? Especially if you remember what we talked about when we were dealing with adjectives, comparative and superlative, okay? Do you guys remember what the rule was? Like, how do you determine if an adjective is comparative? What three letters will you most likely see? I-O-R. Sometimes I-U-S, but more than often it's I-O-R. Okay, and if it's superlative, what will you see? There are a couple different iterations of it, but maybe.
Two double.
Like a double consonant, so like isim, erim, that kind of thing. That's how you will identify superlatives. Okay, now for adverbs, right, that was just adjectives, what we talked about. Now we're moving to adverbs, words that modify verbs. Yes? Adverbs modify verbs. Yes, this makes sense. Okay. I'll just write some examples for you. Remember, in a typical positive degree, adverbs will often end in the letter E. Right? There are adverbs that don't have things like this, but ones that come from adjectives. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so
By the one that you come at adjective, you mean like quick and quickly, for example?
well, let's see if we can. Okay, so let's take the adjective for happy. Okay, do you guys remember the vocab word for that? Yeah. Laitosaum. Okay, now this is just an adjective example, so you guys can kind of see how they're different. Okay, now if I wanted to say happier, how would I say that?
Like you.
In theory, yes. Let me just double check it and make sure it's correct. Yeah. Okay, so it'd be laitior. Laitior, laitius. Okay, and yep, laitissimus would be the superlative. Okay, so that's an adjective example. Let's kind of.
Hey, what would that be example of? That'd be example
Of adjective. Yeah, so we've got our positive here.
That's like a.
This is our comparative, and this is our superlative. Yeah. Okay. Familiar?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to show you what the adverbs will look like, right? Remember, adverbs usually end in illy, right? So instead of happy, how would I make that in English an adverb? Happily, right? And you'd have happily, more happily, or the most happily. Okay, and those are just the different degrees. Okay, in Latin, what that looks like is this. Whoops. Adverb. Yes, good. Laite. Nice. Well done, Tim. Okay, so this is just happy.
So for adverbs, what's the criteria?
So for the positive, if it's a word that comes from an adjective, it's going to end in an E. Right, so let's say we have the adjective for quick, right? The quick fox. You would say kelerimus aum. How would I make it a positive adverb? Kelerimus, kelere. It would be kelere. Okay, so it ends in an E, if that makes sense. Okay, now the comparative is going to be laitius. Right, and because it's an adverb, it only has one form. It doesn't change. It's just the one form that you get, which is nice.
So like, what's the difference like English? What's the difference like English translation wise between laite and laitius?
Laite and laitus.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I wanted to say,
I mean lite and litus. I mean, lite and litius.
Ah, okay, so that's happy. I'm sorry. I meant to put the English translation, but I am all over the place. Like, I'm not going to finish that. It's more happy. More happily, I'm sorry. Wow, I made a mistake.
Yeah, I thought,
You're right, you're right.
Adverbs happily.
Yeah, so it's happily, more happily. Okay, and then litissime would be most happily, and that's the superlative.
This lip.
Yes.
So for adverb, so if it's from an adjective and you want to make it comparative or superlative, you just add you add ius to the end of it. For comparative and a double consonant, like how does it work?
From a positive, like just if you have the positive, like how would you?
You gotta like say it's like the positive, and you have to say you're given a word that's like a positive adverb, and you have to like turn into comparative and superlative.
So basically you stick with what the stem is. So the stem is technically laet, and then you just add ius or isime.
So it's like tissi plus tissim and like added.
Well, you're adding a T. The T is actually part of the stem. It's not.
So like, I'm
It's
confused
still-
with what you're adding on for each.
Okay.
Tissi-
Well, I'll do a couple more examples, and then I think it will be a little bit more clear.
Alright.
So hang tight. Okay. Felikis is an adjective meaning. Anyone? Harry Potter
What is it?
fans?
I need-
Felix?
Lucky.
Oh.
Lucky, yeah. Okay, the lucky something, right? Now if I want to say luckily, I'd say, whoops, feliciter. Okay, it doesn't end in an E. I know, some of them end in ER. Okay, and that means luckily. Felicius.
Oh, so you just add an ius to the stem.
Basically, yeah. And then felicissime.
Why do you add an iter at the end of
More
the
luckily.
I don't know. Some of them are like that. I guess because Felice just sounded too weird to them, so they just added more. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so more luckily and most luckily.
Will it be a thing in the final where we're gonna have to like change it from positive to comparative superlative now?
No, if I'm going to ask you anything about positive comparative superlatives, it's going to be for recognition only.
But it's like-
So like if I give you a passage, I'll be like, find me, like, where are the comparative forms? Where are the superlative forms?
Oh, alright.
That kind of thing.
So it's added is the right?
Mm-hmm.
And plus like adverbs don't have gender changes, right? So it's always an E.
With adjectives, the gender changes, but with adverbs don't really have gender because they're modifying verbs, and verbs don't have gender
That's
either. Yeah, so.
Wait, so does the rule of comparative having IOR superlatives having a double consonant apply to this too?
No, because, so that's for adjectives. For adverbs, it's more of a IUS and then an isime. So they're at least a little, yeah, so, right, that's the thing that we see here. Let's highlight it in a better color so you can see it. Right, so this form has an IUS, this one also has an IUS. This one's got an isime, and so does this one, isime. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now the positive is just going to be what it will be. Can end in an E, can end in an ER. All right, let's do a few more just so you kind of get a little bit more acquainted with this, and then we'll just move on. Because I think this is fairly straightforward, especially if you're just going to recognize them.
Oh, by the way, Miss Lee,
Yes?
could I ask, for the final, will you be giving us a packet at all for that, or like a?
Like a study guide packet?
Kind of like how like Miss Scoville had this thing where she gave us like things we need to know.
Study
Yeah.
guide?
So that's what we're going to actually talk about. We're going to do it verbally, though. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all the stuff that you need to know, and you yourselves are going to make your own
Right.
study guides. Right, so you're going to go through the notes and things. Any of the lectures that I did happen to post might be useful for that too.
Right.
Okay, yes, Robert. Okay? Yes. Yes.
I drink a little too much coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So can I go to the bathroom?
It's like you went inbounds.
Oh, I see.
Huh?
He didn't technically, he didn't.
But maybe before that.
Well, if it was before 12, it's fine.
No, it was after
No.
12.
Yeah, because the ice is still there.
Why would you
True.
tell Miss?
What?
There's
There's a catch, there's a
And why
catch.
would you tell me while I'm recording?
There's a catch, there's a catch.
Snitching on yourself.
Because like, the teacher.
Because the teacher allowed us to go, so.
The teacher allowed you?
Dr. Leo let him. Don't give him a fraction.
I'm not going to give him an infraction, but
No, she's gonna give me a reservation.
no. Okay.
I thought he got
All right, anyway, back to the grammar, because that's what's important. Yes, go.
Cause every
Absolute pest.
Would it be Celerius?
How do you say that again? Molestus?
Molestus, yes.
Celerius?
Celerius, yep.
Celerius,
Yeah. Oh, and Monty, remember how you asked me concilio or concilio? The dictation from the other day? Sorry, I just remembered that we had to talk about it. Thank you, sorry. Okay, in the dictation it was concilio,
Oh,
right? And you asked me if it was a C or an S. If it was a C, it would be concilio. The letter C always makes a hard K sound, so it's very clear which one it would be. I don't know why I didn't remember that when you asked me. I think I just panicked.
And you said C2.
Yeah, did I? Yeah, I don't. It's because in my head it's just like a mumbled, jumbled mess of linguistics and fart jokes.
The basics.
Yeah, the basics, you know. I didn't actually graduate past like 4th grade. Okay, more quickly.
It's good.
Okay, now how am I going to make the superlative? Celerissime.
Isime.
Yeah, okay, most quickly. All right. So very, very straightforward, very easy. Geez, what are you, the bathroom keeper? Genevieve keeps tabs on everybody. All right, any questions on this, or are we okay with positive, comparative, superlative adverbs?
Yes.
Okay, let me just draw your attention to a couple irregulars, and then I think we'll be, okay. I'll give you a couple irregulars. Okay, saipe, often, yes.
Almost
Often, man. Okay, now, you can see more often, although I don't know how often I've seen it, to be honest with you. Saipius is more often. And saipissime.
So like the root is kind of like S-A-E-P,
S-
not really.
Yeah, exactly. Most often.
So like more often than not is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saipius more often than not.
Do you have any
Yeah, so you would
examples?
see more often than not, it would be saipius quam non. Because quam can mean is like than. And when you see it with the comparative, it means more something than something else. Do I have any Latin jokes?
What's fart in Latin?
Bombulum.
Ball.
Yeah, and actually, there's a little bit of a grammar lesson here while Tiffany is sleeping. That ulum, okay, that is what we call a diminutive. Have I talked about diminutives before? All right, so in Spanish, if you have a chica and you say chiquita, that ita makes it cute and little, right? Same thing in Latin. Like a bomb is like a big, loud thing, but a bombulum is like a little explosion.
Is this gonna be a
This is real.
bonus on the phone?
It might be.
Oh my goodness, write it down.
Wait, what's it called again?
The diminutive? Yeah, in the same way, ooh, this is a fun one. I love this one. Okay, so we've got the word os oris. It's the word for mouth. Okay, but
Mouth fart?
no, not a mouth fart. But osculum, right? That's the word for kiss. And think about it logically. What do you do when you kiss? You make your mouth smaller. So basically you're just saying it's a little mouth.
So
That's what a kiss is.
How would you describe a diminutive?
Diminutive, it's something that just makes a word cute and little, right? So you can have like there's a word in Latin, saculus, that's like it's a little bag. A little bag. In theory, yes, but I don't know. Anyway, boys. Okay, so anyway, let me get rid of that. Fart. You can also use, I think crepito is to fart, or I fart rather.
What?
But the dictionary gives us another word for fart that I've never heard. Not that I spend my time looking at these things, but I kind of did.
I don't know this thing.
And it's you seem like the type of person to do that.
Really?
Do you not?
The evidence is really backing up.
What did you see in the Bible?
Someone didn't want his name.
Gross.
This is, you said that. We're talking about farts too.
Oh, what are the odds?
Yeah, this is what this dictionary gives you for fart, a peditum,
What?
which is weird.
Peditum?
Peditum, that's what a fart is in Latin, apparently, according to this
That's
dictionary.
like pedestal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does a pet mean foot though?
Ped does mean foot. Yeah, let me.
Maybe they mean
Foot
like,
forward.
yeah, maybe like foot and smell and then fart.
Well, that's actually what they used to do.
That's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, but if you like look it up,
Prehistoric.
oh, that's interesting because it's a separate word. The word pedes,
What?
peditis is the word for like a foot soldier or an infantryman, but peditum, pediti is like a word that's related. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they just think a lot.
Maybe they do just. Now we gotta know.
That's a little
Yeah,
weird.
foot soldiers back then, I would think.
They probably don't shower.
Well, who was someone writing about trench foot the other day?
Ash foot?
Trench foot.
Oh.
Jason.
Trench foot. I love trench foot.
Ugh.
Step out great super feet.
Oh, that's why it came up. I was like, that came up.
Oh,
Mr. Yeasty.
yeah.
Trench foot, that's what they get. What? Pause, bro. Yo, you were on some Diddy stuff.
What? What's so funny?
It'll just be saying things.
Pet, Peter.
Pedo. Pause right now.
That's what I said. Why is it called?
And actually, I've seen this in actual Latin. It was like a line where it was just like pepidi, which I farted. That's what it means. It was really weird. It was a weird story.
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of those poets are like actually weirdos.
They are. See, that's why you should read Latin because it's funny.
They're like deviants though. They're like weird.
Deviants and
Yes.
weirdos, he said.
He's right. Okay, so anyway, back to positives, comparatives, and superlatives. There are some irregular ones that you should be aware of, and I think I would like to go through all of them so you've seen them at least. Okay. So bene, you've seen that. What does that mean?
Good.
It means well,
Oh,
right? Because if you wouldn't say good is an adjective, right?
I'm just wrong.
No, it's just silly. Okay, now better is melius.
Oh, so it's like English?
Mm-hmm.
English?
English. And best is optime.
I think you told us before.
Well, we went through the adjectives, we
Yeah.
didn't go through the adverbs. Okay, so it is important. Sorry, my computer's about to like Josh, so let me fix that.
I'm hungry.
They're putting a new update on IMAX, did you know? It's gonna make it so if it dies, it never turns on and actually it'll shock you if you try to turn it on.
Good. I was gonna do a tech detox anyway.
Wait, that's like the VR that like actually kills you.
No, this is coming to iMac.
Oh, I see.
You're coming to an iMac
Have
near
you
you.
heard about that? The VR thing where it's like if you die in the game, you die in real life.
I don't think that's real.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one, male,
That's
badly.
Bad.
Okay, so if we, worse is peius, where we get the word pejorative, by the way. So if you speak in a pejorative tone, it's like,
Bad.
yeah.
What Sorry, what are the adjective, it's just the adjective forms come from?
I think the adjectives came first, then the adverbs come later.
No, I mean for these irregulars,
So ask your question again?
like the adjective forms for all of them.
They're fairly similar.
Oh.
They are fairly similar. And actually, maybe we should, maybe not today, but we'll do a side-by-side comparison so you can just see the difference.
Alright.
That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do that next week. Oh wait, it's Wednesday. I'll see you Friday. Oh no. Wait.
We have final exams this Friday.
No,
That's
that's
right.
next Friday.
Oh, that's next Friday. Oh, yeah, you freaked me out.
That's Friday.
No, it's next Friday.
You actually?
Yeah.
281 words in 1 week.
Studying for English
We have
101.
No, 下周五是
Wait, Miss
Do we
Liz,
really have finals next Friday?
Yes.
Not the week after that?
do we have to
No, they're
test
next Friday.
Jean Win will never be.
This Friday is the 10th. Next Friday is the 17th.
So the last final is next Friday.
No.
Next, next.
For our class, our test is on Wednesday, May 15th.
Oh,
15?
Oh, sorry, May 22nd.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how does the English the final schedule work?
The final start on Friday.
Finals start 17th and they stretch until, when do finals go to?
The 22nd. Ours is on the last day.
Yeah, ours is the last period, the last day.
Yep. Going out with a bang, I suppose. Huh?
Last class.
Thursday.
Thursday is like school happenings, and then Friday, like
No, Thursday is just a makeup day and there's no classes. It's makeup exam day.
right. Sorry, I'm thinking from like a res life perspective. That's like when all the stuff pops off.
So like, we don't have school.
Thursday's last week. Thursday class.
But I think we have like class night and stuff like that. I don't know. They're gonna send stuff out and they're gonna communicate, and it's not gonna come through me because I know this much.
Like I said again.
How many days
that's
will
an
it take you
issue.
to grade the final?
Yeah, but it's not something I'm gonna fix.
I mean, it's not your fault, but it is something that should be corrected at some point.
I broke feelings after we went before.
Wait, the final test will be the only test grade in our grade.
What?
Second
Oh, in our semester, yeah.
Yeah, so then we don't have to worry about the math because it's supposed to be 20% of your grade anyway.
Actually, 20%.
Oh no, we lock it. Lock it right now.
What do you mean only 20%?
Kind of.
Like the
Yeah.
participation will worth 20%.
oh really?
Because it's
Keep it on
5
the
categories, 5 all
Wait, Miss Lynn, what's worth the most in this class? Is
I think
it?
everything went-
Homework. No, homework is 25.
Oh, I thought it was all 20.
No,
20.
Oh,
Tests.
Participation is.
participation was like 15. Yeah, and tests, quizzes, and projects are all 20%, and then homework was 25.
35, 25. No, I'm not even touching that, bro.
Oh.
I'm okay. I'm weird, bro.
Okay, are you guys writing these down?
Yes. I just don't need Jack giving me his dirty tissues.
Ew,
Actually weird.
that's disgusting.
You guys play? He like throws his tissues around. They're like, touching each other with their tissues.
Dirty tissues. Like, you're low-key disgusting.
wrong with you?
No, that's
Low-key disgusting this kid.
It's like Mario and Luigi.
Mario, Luigi, and
Mario
Luigi and Wario. Leslie, you pick a Mario Kart. This says a lot about you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who I
this is-
pick? I don't actually know because it's been years.
I pick Rose. I pick Rose. What's it called?
Can you pick Yoshi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was usually I go to.
How about Rose Peach? That's like low-key.
I feel like Peach is too obvious.
Rose Gold Peach is a classic. I always gotta choose that one.
Okay, does everyone have these written?
Oh, is that?
I gotta read the
Oh,
P-A-U-L?
Where?
Little.
Paul, paulum,
Okay.
paulum.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's so already has it.
I'm not trying for that. I'm
Maybe
okay.
you hear too much.
It's getting hot in here, she says with a heavy jacket on.
Don't look at me like that.
I'm kidding, it
It's
doesn't.
because I really like Breath of the Wild.
No, you make fun of Jameson for.
Alright. I don't want
Yeah,
to.
there's a sudden
No, it
break.
doesn't.
I'm happy to play the second game.
Okay.
You play like that.
So in terms of grammar notes, this is all we're gonna do, okay? This is, I just need you guys to know these, kind of see them, recognize them, be able to recognize them. Because they're irregular, they're not gonna have that convenient IUS isime thing
Miss Slade,
that we,
will you give us a big fat packet for the test review?
No,
No.
she just said.
It's gonna be in class.
Yeah, we have to write it by ourselves.
Didn't we? I did that for the last.
I mean, like, I was thinking back from when I went to school, and when a teacher gave me a review packet, it didn't help nearly as much as when, like, I sat down and I actually, like, I knew the topics that we're covering, and I made the study guide myself in a way that made sense to me. Like, that, I think, is more worth your efforts and your time than, like, going through stuff that I can give you, because that's what makes sense to me. It might not be what makes sense to you.
Would you recommend like as something to help you study to like make a cheat sheet, but not actually like even though it's still not.
Yeah, I think, like, pulling, like, in terms of things like that,
And then in
like endings, you mean?
Anything that you bring to the test.
Is that tough or no?
I think that would be worth your time.
What do you think?
Oh, wait, so you're giving us the opposite to make it cheat sheet?
No. Why do you only listen to the wrong things?
It's like as a study method. You make like
The sun data.
Yeah,
We have everything together.
exactly.
What would that be a study?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be called a cheat sheet.
I don't
It
know.
would
Forget it. Why do we even speak
call it
anymore?
review
If they're only going to
guide.
listen to half of what you say, why do I even bother?
and make up the other half.
Yeah, it's like, what? So that's why the politics is where it is today. Okay. And that's why, what is it? Gen Alpha is sunk according to the Flynn theory.
What? You just said a lot of words.
Stupid because of us, Arwen. You're dumb because
No,
of
it's
us.
not us, it's someone else.
It's the millennials. Apparently we're really bad.
Are you Gen Alpha?
So I've been told.
Brother.
Come on.